Bram Stoker in Dracula has written in the second chapter that settles the argument once and for all. And I quote, "Hey everyone, the Dark Knaik is here." In 1838, in Germany, a real estate agent named Thomas Hutter is newly married to the mentally ill Alan Hutter. Thomas gets an offer from his employer to sell a ruin to a foreign count. For that, he travels to the count's castle, where he realizes that he is a Nosferatu, a Romanian word that means a vampire. Nosferatu is the German answer to Bram Stoker's world-famous Gothic novel, Dracula. Thanks to Mrs. Stoker, when German film production company Prana Film decided to make a film on Dracula in 1921, she didn't authorize the film producers to officially adapt her husband's work. So instead of giving up on making Dracula, they actually proceeded with their Dracula project by making significant changes from the book to avoid copyright infringement, and called it Nosferatu. Consequently, Mrs. Stoker took legal action, and after 3 years of legal battle, the court decided to destroy all the existing prints of the film. Luckily, several prints somehow survived. That easily shapes into a 90-minute film. History informs us that not only Nosferatu happened before Dracula, but also changed the face of horror cinema. Two vital decisions that folded Nosferatu in deep excellence was hiring Robert Eggars as the director and signing Bill Skarsgård to play Count Orlok. With Robert Eggars comes the artistic appeal of presenting his world, making it a black narration with a compelling production design. So Nosferatu's unamiable aesthetics look quivering due to Eggars' persistency with blackness. With Bill Skarsgård comes the transparency for horrifying the fundamentals and personification of the characters. Well, obviously, with a gap of 102 years, the filmmaking techniques constructs dozens of bridges between the two Nosferatus. The old one was black and white, silent, and divided into 5 acts, mostly relying on the body language and camera techniques that I believed it far impressive for that age of filmmaking. The new one has a slight difference from the old story. It is colorful, tenebrous, and the aesthetics rely on enthralling cinematography and production design that has always been an accomplishment in Robert Eggers' films. But I don't think if this Nosferatu will create a cult in horror industry like the old one. Also, I felt a strong and obvious omission of the elements of the German Expressionism. That was quite a German way of making films in the 1920s. In the next 100 years, film buffs have run into plenty of horror and scary masterpieces enough to jump into Nosferatu and be thrilled with the kaleidoscope of horror. But the major criticism surely lies in the middle of the story, when the pace of the storytelling slows down. And due to this reason, the film clocks around 130 minutes. Surely is misfiring. Luckily, Nosferatu cannot fail at the box office due to a very low budget of $50 million. The technicality is surely splendid. Lily Rose Depp's performance came as a bonus. Besides, Jaron Blaschke's cinematography and Robin Carolan's score builds the mood. Particular reason for the old Nosferatu living in memories for a century to outdo this nightmare after 102 years. A lot of thought would have been processed. Now that I have watched film as well as Count Orlok, an opinion from someone who has watched plenty of horror films in life is that I didn't find him terrifying at all. If I have to apply the word terror, without a doubt, the prosthetic makeup is marvelous and peaked in the final moments when Orlok is exposed to sunlight. But an observation that raises everyone's eyebrows is Orlok's bushy moustache. Grotesque in all counts, reminds me of Jim Carrey in Sonic the Hedgehog and the English actor Con O'Neill. But Robert Eggers informed Variety that all Transylvanian men had moustaches during that time period. So it wouldn't have been accurate if Count Orlok didn't share that look. It may be silly that vampire wore a moustache. But then again, Count Orlok was a Transylvanian male vampire of the 19th century. Besides, Bram Stoker in Dracula has written in the second chapter that settles the argument once and for all. And I quote, "Within stood a tall old man, clean-shaven, save for a long white moustache, and clad in black from head to foot, without a single speck of color about him anywhere. Horror films do not usually focus on quality casting and subtle storytelling. Nosferatu has distinguished itself from all the horror films. Brilliant vampire film that will be remembered for some time. Now I feel sometimes disobeying the code is a correct decision. Thank God Nosferatu's prints were not destroyed. I'm Knaik. Thank you for watching my video, really appreciate. If you like my content and really want to watch this kind of shit more, then subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click on the bell icon and drop your messages and suggestions in the comment box down there. Take care and always look on the bright side of life.